Hey guys, I'm in Boca Raton, Florida right now. It's my first time ever to come to Florida, and it's humid, and you're probably looking at this thing behind me and are like, what are you doing in front of a palace? Well, I'm here because there's a conference going on. It's called Ad Color, and it's about diversity and inclusion and multiculturalism and marketing. And I'm a speaker on a panel. Today I was a speaker on a panel about the intersection between technology and social activism. And it was I've done one panel before, but this was my first panel at a conference like this, and I was super nervous going into it. And but it's over now, and it went okay. In fact, over the course of things in that discussion, I kind of told everyone in the audience that I felt like everyone had a responsibility to make videos documenting things that were happening in their lives to further empathy from people who didn't belong to their communities. And I realized that I hadn't made a video in a while myself, so here I am, I'm making a video. I think that maybe the thing that I want to talk about is how I deal with nerves, because going into that panel discussion, I was a nervous wreck, and I'm nervous a lot because I deal with a lot of social anxiety and just blah. But I have come up with a couple of ways of dealing with all of that anxiety. In fact, just one way, which is, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So when I'm nervous, I really instead of worrying about the big picture of whatever it is that's got me freaking out at that given moment, I think about all of the individual physical symptoms of that anxiety, and I try to quell all of those things. So, for instance, one of the things that may happen is I may discover that my body has just become completely tense, and so when I realize that that's what's going on, I take a moment to try to relax. I will lay down face flat on the floor and just let all of my muscles go limp. And that's a good way for releasing the tension that I'm feeling in my body. And that helps with that symptom. Another thing is I may notice that I'm hyperventilating or just having some kind of difficulty breathing. And so when I notice that, then I become just very conscious of my breathing and try to regulate that. That also has the benefit of helping when I feel like my pulse is racing from nerves. I guess the one thing that I don't really have a solve for is sweaty palms, but if you've got a towel or a t-shirt, then you can always wipe your palms on something, and it's a temporary fix for that issue. But through addressing each of these physical symptoms of the nerves, I find that I'm actually able to get past a lot of the feeling of nervousness and anxiety. And I found that it's had other benefits as well. So, for instance, I think the first place I noticed this was at the grocery store. At the grocery store, I would get into a line and I would immediately start looking around at the other lines, trying to figure out whether I should leave my line and get into a faster line. And one day I realized that the anxiety that was kind of driving that decision, that thinking, kind of felt the same as the general anxiety that I would feel in other situations. So instead of thinking about which line to get into, I would just focus on calming my body, and eventually I would get my groceries checked out. And then, similarly, one day I was in traffic and in LA, and I was having the same kinds of feelings in traffic, and I realized that traffic is just another line that you're stuck in. And again, I focused on minimizing the physical symptoms of nervousness and anxiety that I was feeling, and that helped. And so that's the thing that helps me, and I hope that it helps you if any of you have to deal with any kind of nerves or anxiety from anything, whether it's social situations or public speaking or just anything that you have to deal with. I don't know what my next video will be about yet. I would like to eventually do another episode of Cell Block, but one thing is for sure, and that is that I am going to definitely be making more videos, and so be on the lookout for those. Bye.